Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today I wish to talk about India's recent efforts to internationalize the rupee in international trade settlements, which has become necessary for geopolitical reasons. If there is one thing that is predictable about Mr. Donald Unpredictable Trump, it is that the very mention of a BRICS currency is guaranteed to elicit a cat on hot bricks reaction from the US president. He has threatened to impose 100% tariffs on BRICS countries if they dare to try to dilute the importance of the mighty US dollar. It's another matter that kind of tariff war which has been launched by USA in recent weeks is sure to hurt American businesses and American consumers instead of achieving the professed objective of making America great again. But let us focus on India. Russia invaded Ukraine on the 24th of February 2022. That created many echoes around the world. The Western countries imposed severe sanctions on Russia, including freezing of assets, suspension of trade, and crucially, banishing Russia from the community of SWIFT, Society for Worldwide Interbank Telecommunication, headquartered in Belgium. That made it very difficult for Russia to do export and import transactions with other countries. And it became an issue for India also for India's imports from Russia. India decided to adopt a calibrated approach in dealing with the situation. Wherever it was in the interest of the Indian people to make imports from Russia, India went ahead and did it, ignoring the howls of protest from the West. Typically, the West was importing energy from Russia whenever it suited them, but they were admonishing India for her imports from Russia. Anyway, India went ahead and imported oil from Russia, and other exports and imports were happening. But a mechanism had to be found because Russia was out of the SWIFT mechanism. Therefore, on the 11th of July 2022, the Reserve Bank of India issued APDR Series Circular number 10, permitting AD banks in India to open special rupee Vostro accounts for their correspondent banks in the trading partner country, Russia for example, with prior permission of RBI. So what this achieved was the Indian importer importing from Russia could simply make rupee payments into the special rupee Vostro account instead of having to remit US dollars or any other major convertible currency. And similarly, the exporter in Moscow would get paid in rubles. And there used to be a set-off also, export-import set-off was also permitted out of the SRVAs, and the net balances were allowed to be invested in certain avenues. So all this was facilitated. This made it easier to have export and import transactions with Russia and several other countries. On the 21st of July 2023, the Minister of State, Ministry of External Affairs informed Parliament that banks from 22 countries have opened SRVAs, that is Special Rupee Vostro accounts in India, Indian banks, in order to trade in local currencies as part of gradual de-dollarization plans. This list includes Germany, Malaysia, Mauritius, New Zealand, Oman, Russia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and the United Kingdom. This was followed up by the FED Circular number 8 dated the 17th of November 2023, whereby an additional special current account was allowed to be opened by banks maintaining SRVAs exclusively for export transactions. This was followed in December 23. The foreign exchange management manner of receipt and payment regulations were amended to enable cross-border transactions in all foreign currencies, including local currencies of trading partner countries and INR. This was an important step. The next step was the issue of FED Circular number 11 dated the 11th of June 2024. The special current account facility was extended to imports as well. Originally, it was only for exports. And most recently, on the 16th of January 2025, Reserve Bank of India issued a press release 2024-2025/1940 on the 16th of January 2025. This was an important step forward in this overall policy of reducing dependence on the US dollar for settlement of international transactions. Previously, the SRVAs were allowed to be opened as per the July 22 circular. The SRVAs could be opened only by AD banks in India. In the Indian banks, the Vostro accounts were opened in the Indian banks for the foreign banks. Here, as per the 16th of Jan 2025 circular, RBI has permitted overseas branches of Indian AD banks to open repatriable rupee accounts for persons resident outside India for settlement of all permissible current and capital account transactions with a person resident in India. This is a major step forward. This allowed them to open accounts like SNRR, Special Non-Resident Rupee Account, which has the character of foreign exchange, which is repatriable. So these repatriable rupee accounts could be used for transactions between non-residents and residents. SNRR and SRVA is also a similar mechanism. Both are similar mechanisms which are in repatriable rupee form, which can be used for settlement of transactions between non-residents and residents. The balance in the repatriable INR account may be used for foreign investments, including FDI. And exporters are allowed to open foreign currency accounts in any foreign currency for export and import transactions. These are the various steps which have been taken by the Reserve Bank of India for promoting the rupee as an international currency for settlement of trade transactions, reducing the dependence on the US dollar. These steps have become even more relevant and significant and a much needed antidote to the prevailing environment where any effort to reduce dependence on the US dollar may be viewed negatively by USA, but we are hoping for some placating and pacifying diplomacy facilitated by the bonhomie between our Prime Minister and President Trump. So all eyes will be on what's going to happen in Washington DC on the 13th, the day after tomorrow. Let's hope that we get good outcomes for India as a result of the Prime Minister's visit to USA. Thank you.